I think this is going to be the norm if, considering how the pandemic is playing out at the moment, and people are going to be looking for spaces to escape to and, have a office away from home, and the need to disconnect from home environment and switch up your environment, particularly, surround yourself with sort of nature like this, in this case, has been done. I think it's a really great idea. In terms of the actual design itself, the whole structure, obviously except for the cladding, seems to have been machined on CNC. So it is something that can be repeatable. You can see on the interior shot that there are quite discrete dog bone connections, which is a sort of a telltale sign of CNC construction. I also imagine the corner panels and the radius has been achieved by bending sheets of plywood, which have again been CNC'd to allow for that bend to happen, that corner to happen. So look, in terms of the spatial quality, if you zoom up to that image, Ryan, I think it's, spatially, I think it's quite nice. To the interior shot, please. Yeah, I mean, spatially, it looks bright, looks clear. I can imagine myself working in there. Personally, it's too much timber. Everything is timber. And I think that's very much a byproduct of how this has been designed, as something that can be repeatable and as a kit set and be made out of almost one material. Obviously not the cladding and the roof, but for the most part, it can be made out of one material. So I think we're going to be seeing more and more of these designs as we continue to live in this pandemic world, I guess. And it's going to be a norm, and we're going to see more and more people looking for these kind of solutions and to have that ability to switch up your workspace and, your environment as well, which is really important, especially for your mental health.
Is this insulated? Can you tell?
It's hard for me to tell. But I imagine it is, because you can see the thickness of that board there by the door. So it's actually quite a thick package. So I imagine it is insulated, yeah.
Look, I'm at two minds about this. I see Krishna's kind of side to it. It's well documented that, a third space, like having these different typologies of spaces where you do different things, it's really good for productivity and I'm sure mental health as well. One clever thing that they've done in the design is there's almost no windows. And I think that's quite clever, because if people don't have that much, space in their gardens, and this is not a typical structure in your garden or small kind of floor area somewhere in your property, and you're kind of all of a sudden in need of something like this, and even if you go to there's an aerial shot, this actually is really squashed in. There's pictures of this structure being really squashed in the walls. And because it doesn't have windows, which are for, I guess a lot of times looking out into a view. In fact, it feels like even the double door there, it kind of distorts the view of the outside, which could make it more about the light quality and less about what's actually outside. So I feel that's, quite a smart little detail. Probably also price wise as well. But it's you could you could look at this as a Zen place to work from home, or you could look at this as a cubicle in your garden, right? I don't want a cubicle in my garden, that's the home thing is it's home. And this is literally a box that, sure, it has nice material qualities to make it it's like a cubicle in disguise, and just everything about cubicle for me is death. So I see these two sides. I don't know. I think there's versions of this that I'll really like and versions of this that I'll really hate. But definitely a new need, a new category of potential products. And yeah, interesting space to watch.